Y'all, Lady Gaga just released a new album, and I started thinking to myself said, what makes her so famous? What's going on over there? So today we're going to be looking at her birth chart, where I found 3 indicators of why she is the icon, the famous icon that we still know today. Now, just because you do have fame indicators in your birth chart does not mean that you are destined for fame. It also depends on what the rest of your chart is giving, if you are willing to accept this journey, and if you're willing to maintain the momentum to keep up this level of popularity, I guess. And also, I am Ethereal Mother, your favorite artist, psychic, and astrologer. So enough about me, let's get into Stephanie Germanotta's birth chart. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because why not? It's easy. It's right, the button's right there. So the first fame indicator in her birth chart is her Sun and Venus in the 11th house. So the 11th house rules over your friend groups, your hopes, dreams, and ambitions. And then you have that Venus energy coming in with the love and devotion for art and fashion. Then you have Aries bringing in the passion and drive and motivation to get shit done, to accomplish all of your desires. And I love how in older interviews and stuff like that, you could tell that she just knew that she was going to be famous. She knew that she was going to be a pop star. And again, with that Aries energy bringing in the conviction, I am a pop star, I am famous. And it's like, that was it. That's all she needed. She just needed to believe in herself, and here we are. And like I said, with her being famous, with her conviction, her work ethic, and her unique aesthetic, it made that into a reality. And I love how in 2009 in an interview she said, I played show after show and murdered every single one of them. In the arena, I look at everybody and go, some of you know this song and me, and some of you don't. But you're sure as hell gonna know who the hell I am before I leave this arena tonight. And then she says, I would sing my record, and it's just relentless and fearless, and I'm gonna fucking make my mark this year right now. I just really have been the kind of person that's unstoppable, and I've never let anything get in my way. And it makes me think about how Aries is the ram. In order to accomplish what it needs, it will ram its fucking head into whatever it needs to get to where it wants it to be. Or how they kind of scale the sides of mountains. And so a mountain in this particular scenario could be her rising to fame. And it's like she has had to go through a lot of different things in order to get to where she is right now, where she is known on a international level. And also, to be famous and to get to this level of fame, you have to be fearless and you have to be courageous, again, Aries traits, to achieve your desires. And you have to have an abundance of these feelings. And also, Aries represents things that are avant-garde, and it reminds me of the artist movement in the 1950s, where they were aesthetically innovative while also being ideologically unacceptable. And this is where we had Cubism and Surrealism, Andy Warhol, Picasso, that kind of era that challenged existing ideas, created a lot of controversy, and it was very experimental. I think that describes the complete package of who Lady Gaga is. She is very avant-garde, she is very experimental, and I love that for her. And you can also see this artistic movement being reflected in a lot of the things that she has done, and you know, with the fashion and with the thought process, the art process. So I love that. In an interview with Zane Lowe, I think that's his name, he said that she attacked fame. And I think that's the perfect analogy for how she kind of erupted onto the scene, because it was like, you cannot deny her talent. Yes, she is wearing a meat dress. Yes, she is wearing something that is not traditional or you would think a pop star would wear, but you cannot deny the talent. You cannot deny the talent. You cannot deny that you can't help but to look at her to see what's going on. You're curious. You want to know more. And also, I love with this Venusian energy that she has in Aries, she talks so highly about the people that she has collaborated with over the years. And again, Venus signifies relationships and collaboration, art and fashion, all of these things. And so you can tell that she was inspired by all the different things that she saw when she was living in New York, and especially the club kid scene. I noticed that a lot, especially like in the earlier stages of her career. I feel like some of it still kind of appears within her newer stuff. We'll see what happens when she releases more music videos, but I still feel like that energy is there. and she explains like how she loves to become art, specifically performative art pieces. And again, like I said, Venus equals fashion, and then you have Aries coming in with the innovative action. So it's like everything that she wears has some like beautiful movement, or it tells a story. There's layers upon layers of meaning behind every little thing that she does, even down to the facial expressions, which we'll get into that a little bit later. The second fame indicator in her chart is her Jupiter and Pisces on her MC. Now this is something that I noticed like immediately, so and I think it's the most like dramatic thing in her chart that shows why she is, again, an icon. So Jupiter is the planet of faith, expansion, applause, and amplification. And then you also have Pisces giving the fantasy, the imagination, and seeking inspiration. And your MC in your chart represents your career path, your reputation, and your public persona as well. So with all of these elements collaborating with one another, it really showed how Gaga had this unshakable faith and conviction, Aries, that she was going to be famous. And then you have this Piscean energy coming in where it's like, I have this big picture, these big dreams. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I just know that I'm going to have to take inspired action and just express myself and do what I love. And then here we are. And then Jupiter definitely expanded what she thought was possible for her career, even to the point where she hated being famous. You know, she hated her persona of Lady Gaga, and at times it was just nice to be Stefani Germanotta, because it was like, she said in one interview where she would be out with family, a fan would interrupt a dinner or something that they were having, and the moment was not about the person it was originally for, it was about her. And it's like, she did not like the aspect of these parasocial relationships with her fans. Like it's a lot. And she felt so isolated, which is actually a Piscean energy. She did feel very isolated because she felt very misunderstood. And again, there's no boundaries. Pisces does not understand the meaning of boundaries. So it's a lot going on, but it's kind of like it comes with the territory, unfortunately. And it's also with Aries and Piscean energy, it loves to have this freedom to kind of move freely about. But the thing is, since she is so famous, she's so easily recognized, and she's not able to run about the streets of New York like she used to when she was younger. It's just not the same. She's on a completely different level. So she has to have, 30 different bodyguards and paparazzi in her face. Like, it's just, again, it comes with being famous. And so that's with Piscean energy, it's like you see the bigger picture, but you don't quite notice all the little details of what it takes to be famous, and experiencing more isolation or having to be in more isolation is a part of it, unfortunately. Now, I wanted to bring up her meet dress that she wore in 2010 to the MTV Music Awards, where she wanted to initiate Aries a conversation about the repeal of the Don't Ask, Don't Tell in the military, which is basically you cannot discriminate against someone based on their sexual orientation, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And so her philosophy, Jupiter, for wearing the flank stakes, if you were willing to die for your country, what does it matter how you identify? Expressing how certain individuals can be viewed as disposable. And I think sometimes the military, it does give that vibe. Like, if you die in battle, hey, it was for your country. So, and again, if you are in the heat of battle, your sexual orientation is not going to be in question. It's going to be do or die. So again, why does it matter? It does not matter. And so even though it was like the craziest shit in the world, this was such a good statement piece to have that conversation and to initiate that conversation. So, and again, it's like with Jupiter, it expanded the conversation to where it was happening internationally. Everybody was talking about it. And then she got to kind of, during these interviews, hone in on what the actual point was, to have this actual like activist type moment. And I think she achieved that. And it's funny that this look was inspired by Val Garland, the makeup artist who was responsible for her Born This Way era makeup with like the prosthetics and the graphic eyeliner. And at first I was like, Val Garland? And then I remembered.
Ding dong. Ding dong. Ding dong. Ding dong. Ding dong. Ding dong. Marvelous.
I thought that was funny, and it makes sense when you see her aesthetic and what she's done throughout her makeup career, and why her and Lady Gaga they've been so close for a very long time. And also, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because you know you want to come back and see what I got going on. It's good stuff happening over here. So her third fame indicator in her birth chart is her Gemini rising. Typically, people wouldn't think of it as a fame indicator, but for her, let me break it down. Now with her Gemini rising, Gemini is very much a chameleon, and depending on her personal experiences can shift how she presents herself, creating this eclectic person that we know today. She is always shifting, changing, altering her appearance with makeup, prosthetics, something like that. So it's always something a bit different. And your rising sign, again, representing how you present yourself to the public, how you present yourself to other people around you. She said in an interview one time that I change as I make art, the music affects my personality and vice versa. And I think that's perfectly describes her having a Gemini rising. It's changing all the time, which is beautiful. And so Gaga has also said in a few different interviews that she is a forever student, which is very Gemini, which shows how she is inspired by different genres, art, other artists, and the simple things in life that she experiences on a daily basis, which is very Gemini, and of course social issues as well. And her constantly adapting to new information creates a lot of curiosity, again Gemini, because it's like people want to know, what is she doing, what is she wearing, what's the meaning behind this, because we know that she always has layers and layers and layers of meaning behind every single thing that she does. So it's cool to see people dissect what's going on. And I've even looked at things and I'm like, damn, I gotta let this sink in. I gotta take time to really digest everything that's happening. And so it's interesting, like now in social media age, there's a lot of, you gotta get people to engage. And she's been getting people to engage with her for a very long time. People have always wanted to know what the hell is wrong with this person. Also with Gemini energy, I'm going to make this connection to her Jupiter and Pisces, because Gemini is all about your neighbors who you interact with on a regular basis. And so with the Jupiter and Pisces, I remember she talked about in an interview how she wanted, with her music and fashion, she wanted to create a safe space for people who did feel like outcast. And Pisces is extremely empathetic. And so again, Jupiter helping her to amplify that message and to amplify the fact that she is a safe space. You can come to her. And again, bringing it back to her Gemini rising, she has always presented herself as someone that feels like the girl next door, someone you would want to be friends with, someone that you would want to interact with on a regular basis. She has always had that energy, and you could definitely see it in her interviews, and I love it. It's like, yes, I am a weirdo, and this is someone that I can relate to. This is someone that feels close to me, feels like a sibling, which is very Gemini. And so kind of bringing all of these different elements together, we have Jupiter and Gemini coming in with this grandiose creative vision, and then that inspires artistic action, which is the Sun and Venus in Aries. And then you have these little small details and elements with that Gemini rising from all of the different things that she has observed and picked up from her surroundings, and she incorporates that into what she's feeling at the time. And then we have, a new album or a new video or a new collaboration with a specific artist or makeup artist or fashion designer or something like that. And again, that collaboration and those relationships is very Venusian, and she holds those relationships really dear and close to her heart, which I love to see that. And again, adding in this best friend next door. This is the person that I feel like I've known all my life. So the mayhem of it all. So I actually looked at the definition of mayhem, and it's a state of rowdy disorder or any violent destruction or confusion. It makes sense to me. Also, Mayhem representing her as like a non-linear artist. Like traditionally, she is not what you would expect as a pop artist. It's something bigger than what you would expect, again, with that Jupiter energy. She is larger than what any of us could have imagined from seeing her Just Dance video. Like, she has come such a long way, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So I did listen to Mayhem. I'm gonna have to listen to it a few more times. It's been like 3 times already that I've listened to the album, but I know it's hard to kind of say what my favorite songs are. I feel like I still need to kind of digest a few of her other stuff. Because I know, again, like I said, I know there's a lot of layers and philosophy and all this behind some of these songs. So please comment down below what your favorite songs are. But I really love, of course, Disease, Abracadabra, Blade of Grass, Zombie Boy, Perfect Celebrity might be in my top 3, and there's a few other ones. I'm gonna listen to it again, but let me know how you feel about the album. I really enjoyed it, and I did not realize how much I missed her unique touch within the music industry and the pop scene in general. It's so nice to see her again, even though sometimes I know that fame gets on her fucking nerves. I do appreciate her coming back to music once again. So that is it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Again, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I love you. You are loved. You deserve love. And until next time, bye.